So, welcome to Lightroom 4. So, in this episode, what I'm going to do is take some time to talk about cleaning up Lightroom a little bit and changing a few things. The first thing we're going to focus on is the folder panel. If you look at my folder panel right here, there's a whole bunch of question marks and all of my files have question mark on them. And that's almost a big no-no and something that you don't want it to happen. Because normally when something like this happens, that means you have gone outside of Lightroom. In this case, you have gone outside to your folders in your image vault and changed the way how the image is or how the folders or images are organized. So the one key thing that I taught early on in our class is that when you want to do something, just do all from it in Lightroom. And I'm going to show you how to do that as well. The first thing though, we have folders with question mark. We need to kind of clean it up first. So I'm going to walk us through the process of how to do it. I'm going to do a few folders here and you're going to see kind of the repeat pattern really quickly. So I'm going to find this folder right now, 2012 UK, which is not there. I'm going to right click on it and just say find missing folder. Okay. It's going to ask me where I want to find it. I'm going to actually point it to my image vault, 2012 UK. I'm going to press choose here. Once I press choose, notice how it brings that folder back. Now it's solid, it's not grayed out. Notice the difference here. When the folder is on a question mark, it's also grayed out at the same time. All of these are visual cues letting us know that the folder is actually not linked right now, and Lightroom doesn't know where it is. Let me find more folders as well. And again, the process is very similar. It's the same. It's just right-clicking on a folder that you want to find. Click on Find Missing Folders. Alright, highlight the folder that the name corresponds to it, and hopefully you didn't change the folder name outside, as you kind of see here. And I'm going to do this 2 more times. Link this back. For example, this is my iPhone folder with pictures from my iPhone. I'm going to link it back there. And last one, I'm going to actually link this. Now, before I link the last one, it kind of creates a compelling reason. I have 2,587 images in here. That's quite a bit of images. But what's really amazing about Lightroom is that it will find all of it. And the other thing about this folder is there's a whole bunch of subfolders in here. Okay. So if I just click on the parent folder, which is the folder on top right here, Rome, Italy, right click on it and say find missing folder. And I'm just going to zoom out here and just go in my image vault, click on that, just the top parent folder right here. If I'm in the list view, I would actually, I would look at the, just highlight this folder. 1 second here. If I'm in the list view, I would just highlight Rome, Italy. Even though there are 5 folders underneath it, I wouldn't bother with it. I just highlight the top one. Press choose. And Lightroom is smart enough to know that there are subfolders as well, and then linking it all back up for us makes it very, very easy. Now, if I take a look inside of my Lightroom right now, I have a pretty comprehensive library going on here. I'm just going to click on like these pictures right here, like in this folder, so we can see that all our images are linked. Alright, let's take a look at our folder still here and see what else we can do. So we take a look at our folders right now. We see a couple of things. There's 2012 UK, WPPI, Chico, pictures taken from iPhone, and Rome, Italy. Well, these are all my travel photos. Let's say I want to organize all my pictures into a 2012 travel folder. How would I do that? The best way to do that is just to come into Image Vault here. Right click on it and say create folder inside image vault. We're going to click on that and you're going to get this very simple file service dialog right here. We're going to name this folder 2012_travel. And again, just kind of think loosely here that you can do this to something else as well. It doesn't have to be travel photos necessarily. It can be your work. It can be your shoot you did for your client. It can be pretty much anything. So the best way to move folders in Lightroom, let's say the 2012 UKs belong in travel. The best way to move it is just to click on a folder, drag it, and just drop it into 2012 travel. Lightroom is going to prompt us saying, hey, you're going to move the file onto this. You want to do that. You just have to be firm about it and say, yes, I want it to, because all of these are my travel pictures, and I want them to all be in travel folder. Notice I'm doing this again this time. I'm going to do it one more time with the Rome, Italy one. So I'm going to say on move here. Boom, just like that. Okay. Let's talk about a couple of things. Other things right here. So now I have my folders all organized. I'm fairly happy. They're all in subfolders. You know, I have all my Rome pictures just to prove that I was actually in Rome. That's the Colosseum. Just in case you want to see that. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is let's go inside this folder here called Shiko_Julie. Well, I was traveling up to Shiko earlier last year, and what I did is a fashion shoot with this young child model, or daughter of a friend of mine, and we did this photo shoot. And it's in Shiko, it's under Julie's, but I want to actually name this folder like Julie photo shoot or Julie's portrait. How do I do that? This now right now named Shiko Julie. So the best way to do that, instead of going outside of Lightroom to rename a folder, I'm just going to simply right click on here and say rename. Okay, it's going to come up with the folder, rename folder dialog, as you can kind of see here, with the old name already highlighted. So that means I just have to change the folder name. I'm going to name this one Julie Portrait. Okay, and it's just as simple as that. Lightroom automatically changed the name, rearranged the folder. And more so, what it does as well, as I show you on our computer here, let me go to find that folder to show you in our image vault. Notice how our folders actually outside here got changed to Julie Portrait as well. So Lightroom pretty much does a lot of things for you, makes your life rather simple. Let me show you another example here. So I have a whole bunch of iPhone photos here taken from, well, different duration of a year and so forth. And, I have a couple of photos that I taken with my client there at Disneyland. These are all my Disneyland photos. You can kind of see the Mickey Mouse face here. I'm going to show you all these up. So let's say I want to move all these photos into the 2011 travel folder. But there's a problem right now. In 2011 travel, I don't have a folder called 2012 Disneyland. That's one of the big problems. The other thing too, they're in the wrong folder. So let's see what I can do here. In 2012 travel, I can click on here. If I want to subdivide things, I can do that very easily by just right-clicking on it and say create folder inside 2012 travel. I'm going to call this one 2012 underscore Disneyland. Like so. Press create. So now we can see the folder is empty and blank. So to move our file, I would simply just come back into my iPhone folder that has so many other pictures there, which I care and not care about sometimes, because I just snap with it. I'm going to highlight all the Disneyland pictures, including some of the video clips as well. And simply what I'm going to do here is just drag it by clicking on the image, by the way, and not on the gray border around it. I'm just going to click on the image and drag it over. As you're going to see a stack coming up here, and drag it over to 2012 Disneyland. Lightroom is going to say, hey, do you want to move these files on your disk? I'm going to say move. Let's do that. So Lightroom is now automatically going to move all my files into 2012 Disneyland. So I have all my Disneyland pictures all in one folder. And if you're really wondering if this is really Disneyland or not, well, I have the Mickey Mouse parking lot photo here just to kind of confirm. We took pictures with our clients in front of Mickey Mouse face at the main street. And also we went on Star Tours. Not with our clients, obviously, but afterwards. That would be kind of awkward, wouldn't it? Anyway, so that's the way how we organize things, how we rename our folders in Lightroom. So makes life fairly easy. Let me kind of go over one more point here. I have 2012 WPPI images. Technically, WPPI is in Las Vegas, and I like to name this by the location as well. So how do I inject a new name into it or rename the folder? Again, as I told you earlier, I just right-click on here and say rename. And I just come in here and say 2012 underscore Las Vegas underscore Vegas underscore WPPI. So I know these are images from WPPI, but they were taken in Las Vegas, so that all my folders are kind of arranged nicely by location. I mean, if we really want to be pay attention to a lot of detail, we can do 2012 underscore Anaheim Disneyland as well. Okay, so this is how we rename our folders, move our folders, and move our files around within Lightroom.